Hello, today I will be going through the testing procedure. So, I currently have my current web app here with all the controllers in code. So, firstly, we'll launch this. Uh, Firstly, we'll launch this, and we can see here that we have the games. So we can log into a game, to an account, sorry, and I will show I can create a game here by going new game 5, password, we'll just put it as password, description, this is a new game, there you go, and it appears here. So these are the my games, these are the ones that I'm part of, need to configure the layout better, and they also appear here, but if we log out, and then log back in to the second account, now this shouldn't appear because there is only, like, the second account hasn't joined this game yet. So, in order to debug that, we're going to go back to the controller and the games that this section here, the games that you have joined, is done via this here, which we can follow through to the extensions to here. So this is the part. So we're going to put a debugger there. Refresh the page. And now this will allow us access. So if we skip over it, we can see down here the accesses do only have 2 games that is found for this specific user. However, and then it gets the IDs of all the games, passes this through to this method here. Which is here. Now, so it was only being given 2 IDs. However, when it actually goes back and gets the games themselves, so the files for the games, this doesn't actually check for IDs. So we'll stop the process. And what we can do is add where, the G for game, and we'll do the game IDs dot contains the given game ID, like that. Running again. Oh, we still got the debugger there. But if we skip over, still only accesses 2. So if we continue, there we go. We now only actually have 2 for the second account. So now if we log out, and if we create a new account, oh, that's actually my emails. No, if we just put user1 at account.com. These accounts currently mean nothing because the verification isn't up and running. Password. We'll just put it as password. No, we won't, because passwords need at least 1 digit. So password 1. Oh, I thought I took that off. There we go. So there we go. New user free. I will save that information. And there's no games found that the user has actually joined, which is good. So if we actually go to request to join a game, that's the user, and that's just a bit of debug information. But up here, you'll see that they are not an integer, but they're actually a string of characters. Now, it's difficult to show, like, not difficult to show, sorry, but this is created in, oh, it's just created here. Here it is. So the ID, if we go over to game controller, when a new game is created, the game is added here. It grants access to the game, and it also assigns a new the string ID, which is formed from the numerical ID. So assign ID, we do just overwrites it if necessary, but hash ID, and we can generate a hash. Or then this works by passing in the integer ID as the random, and then just creating a string of random characters from that. However, there's no guarantee that all of those are unique, which is why over here I've written a short unit test which will generate up to 1 million hash of the IDs, the first 1 million of all the IDs, and then check them all for conflicts. So if there's any conflicts up to 1 million, it will tell us. And then if we go, we'll put it on debug so that we can see these outputs. Scientific string test, 0% complete. And this will take a while to finish. Like a couple of hours to finish. Because it has to cross join all of the tables to check all of them against all the others. So I will get back to that later then. Well, just a short while into the testing, I came across another bug, just in the actual debug bit. So, just another unintentional thing. If an integer is divided by another integer, we only produce an integer, which is 0. I also forgot to times by 100 for the output percentage here, so it was just constantly producing 0% complete all of the time. So, in order to rectify that, what we can do is if we put those in and we just do float like that, and we can come across here and times by 100 to get a 0 to 100 instead of 0 to 1 decimal. And now, if we rerun that test, in a while, it'll take a while, it should appear that it's not just 0%, but it actually comes up like 1%, 2%, 3%, and so on. As you can see here, it's now counting up successfully, 1%, 2%. Okay, and that's done. I put a breakpoint there to catch it, and you can see in the output log that it's all been completed. And if we go over to the left side and drop it down, you can see that there are 0 conflicts between 0 and 1 million, because that was the original max ID. So that does not necessarily mean that there are no conflicts in the entire program, in like up to the 32-bit integer limit of 2.3 billion ish. However, for the meantime, I'm only expecting to get up to, I'm not expecting to get more than 1 million. And if we actually look at the original code, if we do get conflicts or somehow run out of IDs, we can just increase the length from 8 to 9 characters of randomness, and then it will just allow them to all go again. So let's continue that. Oh, I put the wrong assert down. That shows. Oh dear. That was when B is true. Okay. No, that shouldn't. Yeah, that's gonna be. If it is true, it's gonna be is true. Okay. So yeah, that's the unit test done. Failed because I put the wrong thing there. It's true. So that should have succeeded. Okay. So actually, yeah, actually showing that this is IntelliSense in Visual Studio. It's a helpful development tool in for developers, as it allows us to see all of the possible functions, and when we type, it will automatically update, and so we can find there that it is true. We'll come along here, it will tell us all the parameters needed, but it's useful because, such as here, well, I wouldn't have remembered how to navigate to the generation code scene here. Well, not easily, but I know it's in the extensions, so I can auto complete that, and I know that it's, I called it hash, which we can find there. It hashes the ID, and there it's generating the hash with the parameter ID. Now, if you forget something, such as, sorry, pardon me, such as the semicolon off the end, it will attempt to format this, and it will tell you where there's a syntax problem with the code you've written. This also applies if I then go and change this here to say we actually want the length to be an input. And then this would just be changed to length. Then I may forget about the other code, but if I attempt to build it, there will be an error. And so it can automatically find an error, which is there, which we can then put in, and then the other one as well here in the actual code. So it'll automatically find errors in the code. It won't it's not omnipotent or omniscient. You can't find anything, but it can also find things like if I were then to put return invalid or something like that, and instead of red, it will do this one as a warning down here, and it will just say that the code is it's not incorrect, but that code will never run, so you should delete it. It also will do things like actually not there, but like here, unused int equals 10, and it will say this variable is never used and is just taking up unnecessary data, so we can delete that one. It's also extremely useful in a case like this where I was storing a tuple of all the conflicts, because it will tell us it requires a generic type value, and then I can put in a tuple of up to 8 long. So yeah, thank you for listening.